Welcome back to Dum Dum's 2099, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into a futuristic world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukake, your host. Alyn, Honor System, and Declan are facing down a growing army in the Zeus Cannon's control room. Honor System is being shredded battling MFTs in the generator. Alyn gained full access to her spells due to ambrosia nectar, and Declan continued hacking despite the oncoming waves of enemies. Will they survive this fight? Find out next on Dum Dums and Dragons 2099.
Alyn, you feel the effects of the ground up, kind of vaguely expired ambrosia flow through you as all of the magical powers that have been just scratching at the edge of your mind flood into you. And this doesn't feel like it did when, you got back to Dumb Faerun and suddenly you had access to your magic again. This is very much like chugging a Red Bull and just letting all of that energy hit you at once.
Of course, that feels amazing, as we all know.
Yeah, it feels amazing for like a couple minutes.
Feels really good when you're like 21.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna live forever. What do you mean? We're all 21 right now, right? Turns to dust. Thinks about 56K dial-up modems and turns to dust. So you're immediately hit by just again a wave of power and energy. And honestly, it feels like an amped up version of what you've been feeling with kind of your acid almost like slipping out of your hand, where it's just like, oh, with this much juice, it's so much easier to throw magic. So with that in mind, your powers flow through you. Mechanically, I've asked Laura to dig out her character sheet for Alyn. Because the carbon rules are so compatible, this should be fine, but do forgive us if there's a little bit of Calvin Ball here. But as always, you put a mage in the future and sometimes you gotta...
Yeah, so essentially I'm playing with the spell slots of my previous Alyn and Dumb Faerun.
What are spell
original
slots?
Flavor, original recipe.
Spell slots aren't a thing gods particularly care about, are they?
Yeah, no.
So you have spells.
I have spells.
Like crazy.
But I don't know what these spell slots you're speaking of are. And at this point, neither do you.
Oh, I'm just gonna throw shit then, okay.
You have a squad of drones making their way through diagnostics. They've breached through the office. They're cutting south from diagnostics. They are essentially one turn from reaching the platform you're on, which is the west platform, which connects diagnostics to control. So within, on their next turn, on their next initiative, they'll be within firing range of Declan. We're doing some classic GoldenEye Protect Natalia shit right now. So it's up to you kind of how you want to deal with this. Meanwhile, back inside the generator, the mask of your mother, the evil director Dell, is summoning more mages. It's starting to look a little bit like the end of Avengers Endgame in there, where there's just portals showing up and mages are stepping through. Luckily, there's a katana wielding robot in there, but for how long? So, Alyn, what do you do?
So I've got Declan in control.
So Declan is to your right in control.
Yep. And then
you're on west platform. Directly ahead of you, there's like a small glass enclosed walkway that leads to diagnostics, which is like a large boardroom.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the drones are coming from?
Yes, you've got in cinematic terms, they're doing like the breach and clear thing where they're kind of like a little SWAT team moving through. And last round, if you'll recall, I rolled to see if they noticed the kerfuffle in the generator room, and they didn't. They are very much fixated on getting to control and stuff. Because, the orders they received were someone has seized control and is powering up the big gun in space. So that's, it's one thing that there's a robot in there, but it's more concerning that there's someone messing with the machine.
Yeah. I am going to surround all of diagnostics in a cloud of fog.
Using what spell?
Fog cloud.
Oh!
Yeah.
Amazing. So mechanically, what does that do to my poor drones?
It so I'm just gonna cast it at like a high level. It's great. It's a
I was gonna say you don't have spell slots, so
I know.
cast everything at the highest
I
level
know.
possible.
So let's call it a sphere of fog that heavily obscures the area. And it is 20 feet in radius, if that will cover the...
That'll definitely cover kind of the two doorways, so they can't see into generator room anymore, and they can't see into west platform anymore.
Lovely.
The room itself is larger than that.
Okay, then 40 feet.
What do you need, Tom? Whatever size you need.
Yeah, whatever size you need, that's what it's gonna be.
Look, I knew I was handing the keys to someone else when Moreau microdosed you with God powder. So like, it's cool. This is just let me reach for my wallet so I can pay the piper appropriately.
There's a sphere that surrounds the entirety of diagnostics.
Okay, great. So literally, there's just a moment as these sort of SWAT guys moving forward of just kind of like, you walked into a graveyard in Buffy where there's just suddenly, fog billowing up out of the ground, and much like stormtroopers in early Star Wars, there's a lot of sort of confused, looking around as this happens, because Magic, despite having MFTs on staff, most of the drones, I'm sure some of them worked for the conglomerate, but even so, like, Magic just still isn't really a thing. So immediately, just kind of fog envelops the room. It looks like a soupy London day. What else do you do, or is that the main action?
What effect does the fog have, Laura?
It just heavily obscures the area.
Yeah,
so it spreads around corners, like it's all.
Okay.
Yeah, it essentially means that if they're firing, it'll be a disadvantage because they can't actually see you. So it's just literally like spray.
Essentially, picture like the London fog of 1954 or whatever it was, when it was just like people were like getting hit by like carriages because they literally couldn't see like 2 feet in front of them. That's what it is.
So it'll slow them down, and it means they won't be able to immediately sight you, as it were. And I'm going to just look up what the full effects are so that I've got them. But
do I still get 2 attacks?
I'm going to say yes, but I will ask you to almost think of them as sort of a major and a minor, if that makes any sense. I know mechanically that isn't true, but I gave you 2 attacks because the spells you're using in Cyberpunk, in Carbon are like slightly weaker. Now that you have both, I think kind of imagine it as like you have one do whatever the fuck you want because you're juiced up, and one within reason type of thing.
That's fine. I think what I will do is I'll just move to the control room.
Okay.
And basically say like, what's Declan doing?
Declan's hacking to try to open to try to take control of the Zeus cannon.
Take control of it. Yes. Okay, thank you. It's been a second. So it's like, Declan, how much time do you need?
I don't fucking know. I didn't build this fucking thing. Just kill everyone.
Nope. Yeah, okay. And what I will do is I'd like to ready, if I can, some magic missiles to fire at the 4.
Okay, great.
Dudes
So basically
when they emerge.
Yeah, so taking up a defensive position in control, ready to blast them when they hit west platform.
Yeah.
Great. And I will say, well, actually, from control, we established Declan can snipe on those catwalks, so you can hit them as soon as they leave diagnostics.
Sweet.
Cool. All right. So a spooky fog envelops diagnostics, and Declan, with Alyn at your side, you continue. So from your point of view right now, you've got honor system under kind of heavy attack in the generator room. You've got one squad of drones is in diagnostics, but has not moved through it yet. That is enveloped in fog. The other drones are still working the door out of the power charging station and have not yet reached maintenance. Keep in mind, in addition to hacking and shooting, you do have
got that nanoswarm. Oh yeah, baby. Because here's what he does: he hits nanoswarm activate and throws them into the power charging station because he does not need another squad of fucking drones this turn. Then he's gonna bounce the hacking over to auto hack. He's gonna open that generator door and just say, fuck it, and he's gonna turn around with this sniper rifle. What can he see inside the central generator chamber as he drops to a knee, lowering his rifle into position to fire?
Sure. So inside the generator room, there is honor system in kind of the north. So as we established, large spherical room, kind of like Cerebro. You've got a catwalk that goes along the rim, and then there's an interior catwalk. There's sort of pathways in from the north and south to a central interior catwalk around the generator core itself, which again is like a large energy coil, similar to something you'd see in sort of Star Trek, where it's sort of a glass encased coil full of quantum energy that's being fed by mages. On that central platform, you have just behind the core, probably a bad shot. Actually, unfortunately, these are mostly bad shots for you right now, Declan. Director Leon Dell is beyond the core, so just north of the core, at a bad angle. Honor system is further north. He is currently on the outer ring, but at the entry point to the connecting catwalk. So he'll be able to make it to the core on his next turn. He's got 2 mages. He just killed a bunch of mages. He's got 2 more that he's facing down right now. You've got really good line of sight on 2 mages, one in the southeast, one in the northwest, who are powering the core. They're the ones that are trying to interrupt it. Director Leon Dell has ordered them to open portals, so they've turned their attention to that. But they are currently helping to stabilize the portals. Essentially, in terms of the portal magic, Declan doesn't really understand how this works, but mechanically, just so you're all aware, it's the kind of situation where like the more mages are focused on a task, the faster that task goes. The fewer mages that are focused on that task, the slower it goes, or the fewer people can come through.
Great. So there's one portal open right now, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
And who is opening that portal? Can you see which mage is powering it?
Yes, it is. Well, there are 2 that are currently powering it from this side. There's the one in the southeast and the one in the northwest. Both of them have turned their attention to this portal to get it open as fast
he
as
fucking
possible.
does not like that portal. So whoever's on portal, who's the easiest shot, that's who he's taking out.
That would be southeast. We'll say this mage has a classic traditional pointy hat. They are dressed like the sorcerer from the Sorcerer's Apprentice. They are clearly one of those mages who's not very good and was trying to really upsell their capabilities.
Okay, so I know I am hacking at disadvantage and I am shooting at disadvantage.
That is correct.
Would I have advantage on this mage with them casting a spell and me opening a door and them not knowing I'm sniping from a ways away?
I'm going to roll a perception check for them just to see, because this is a bit of a tough one, so I think it's probably easiest. Roll disadvantage because they're not paying full.
Do you want me to roll stealth, or what do you want me to roll?
No, this is just in case they see the glint of your scope. Also, to be clear, so you've opened the doorway into generator space. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So actually, yeah, Ryan, go ahead and roll stealth. Let's make this a proper opposed check. That does make the most sense.
That is a 23.
Okay, they rolled pretty well, but they didn't roll that well. So they are focused, they're more scared of Director Leon Dell than they are of other things, which is fair given what she did to Honor System last round. So they do not see you. So I will say you do get advantage, which bumps you to an even shot.
Yeah. And what we'll say for the sake of the stealth, it's just the door has only started to open and Declan immediately shoots through it. So it's not so much that he's hidden, it's a speed shot.
Yeah. So look, I've seen enough Metal Gear cutscenes of people with sniper rifles to know that's all you need, baby.
Exactly. Alrighty. The shot is taken. That is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, for sure.
Dope. Okay. So that becomes that is 24 ballistic damage.
Oof. Yeah, that mage goes splat. His blue robes become red as the bullet tears through him. And he does that classic Star Wars stumble where he kind of like falls over the edge of the catwalk because who believes in banisters in the future? Not me. And his body kind of like falls into the bottom of the dome or the sphere, just kind of like leaves a smear as it slides to the bottom, coming to a rest against the edge of the core.
And Declan's going to yell into his sub-vocalizer to honor system, just like, kill Alyn's mom, I got the fucking little people. And then the auto hack behind him at disadvantage.
Also, I would absolutely watch Declan McCready and the little people.
All right, that was pretty good. That's a 22.
Hey, all right,
nice.
Yep, that'll do. So the core is getting horned here as it powers up. It's glowing with energy as the redirected power flows through it. Particularly given that it's not currently being stopped up by mages. So overall, Declan, you're feeling pretty good. The hack is going well, and you've got some support for your sweet husband as in his battles. Anything else you want to do this round?
No, I think that was plenty. He unleashed a nanoswarm, opened a door, auto hacked, and took a shot. I think if I do any more, it just feels like cheating.
Yeah, that's fair. Just sometimes you have like weird little like, I have a sub reaction that's not quite a reaction where I turn into dust and like.
I mean, I'm saving that in case I get shot at.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing any secret Declan powers.
No. Uncanny dodge is still just waiting.
Son of a bitch. All right, great. Okay, fantastic. So that brings us to the drone squad B in diagnostics. So. They're confused by the fog. They do have 2 robots with them, which probably helps a little bit. I'm going to roll... this is an interesting one, because, Alyn, you don't even need to roll to hit with Magic Missile, right? It just auto-hits?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I rolled to see how they navigate through this room, and I gave them disadvantage, and on the disadvantage I got a 1. So I'm gonna say they like bump into tables and shit, and it's just like they don't get through diagnostics. They are proper fucked. So they spend their turn fumbling around in there. Unfortunately, Alyn, this does mean you won't get a shot off at them because they don't leave diagnostics. But the good news is they are still further away from control than they were. It's a lot of just that one stormtrooper bumping his head on the Death Star door, where it's just
and these are like living beings, right?
2 of them are organic, 2 of them are robots.
Okay.
So now we keep saying drones, but it's because of the B theme, as you know. So cool. You can think of them again as like outfitted in jumpsuits, like very much like the AIM soldiers from Marvel Comics. So kind of like scientist-y jumpsuits, helmets, jetpacks and guns. The robots are very thin. They're not cool like Honor System. They're vaguely more glorified. Like they're a little stronger than. This is a real weird pull. But like if you think of like a Chappie robot from the movie Chappie, but without all the cool bling. Or any of the robots from like Apex Legends, the video game, just like slightly blockier than a battle droid from Star Wars, but not as refined as the Ronin droids or the Samurai droids, because they're from Amazon Basics, so they're just kind of only okay robots. Yeah. Or honestly, the Boston Dynamics robots that are about to overthrow us all. Those sort of like blocky. Their arms move very like forward, back. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of dynamism to them, or to the soldiers for that matter. So yeah, they're just bumbling around in the room.
Alrighty.
Picking spells for organics versus inorganics, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Love that for me.
Yes,
Love that for you. Honor system. Speaking of inorganic matter, with organic matter, I guess, because hands. You are in the generator room. You watch a mage go splat, fall off the rim. That said, you got pretty badly injured by Director Leon Dell, who is currently focusing her efforts on the portal as well, just kind of giving orders and overseeing it. You've rushed up to there are 2 mages that you're facing down at kind of the north end of this, having cut down a couple on your way in. What do you do?
These 2 mages, they're focusing on draining the core still, or are they like turning their attention to me and they're going to fight me?
They've turned to you in kind of a way. I should also note the numbers of mages in this room is going to get pretty funky because there's mages just slipping through dimension doors and shit. So like, as you've probably already gathered, this is very much a wave shooter room. So don't concern yourself too much with how many mages are there, because like there will always be more. It's more a matter of like, what are you trying to prevent? In this case, on your system, these two mages have turned to you, so they're not helping with the portal, they're not helping with the generator. It's very much like the scary robot's after us.
All right, then I'm going to risk it. I'm going to try and run past them to Lee and Dell.
Okay, awesome. So they will take their attacks of opportunity. What's your AC?
19.
So one fails horribly, as you would expect. One actually gets through, but it's a mage swinging fists, so 2 points of damage. As one gets a lucky shot. Honestly, probably just rips at some of that muscle as you run by. Like fingernails through raw muscle.
Biofibers.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt you that much, but it's just like the muscle you had printed on, a little bit of it gets ripped off as they run by. As you run by, as a weird bodyworks exhibit on a rampage. That said, that gives you an open shot to Director Leondell.
That's where I'm headed then. I'm running right up to her. And for my attack action, I would like to grapple her. I would like to grab her.
Okay, great. So for grapple then, I'm going to roll opposed on your I believe athletics is grapple. We haven't had a grapple in a while.
I think it's dex or strength to save. It's strength for me. Okay. I think you're right. I think it is athletics.
I'm just going to double check, because we have honestly not done this in an age.
Been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, it's strength. It's athletics contested by athletics or acrobatics.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. I'm rolling.
I will also roll.
22.
22. That is pretty high. Let's see what she gets. Yep, you successfully grapple her. She's unfortunately too busy with the sniper rifle to really grapple back. There's a bit of a like jostling you with the flat edge of the gun, but they're not great for up close.
Excellent.
Cool. So yes, you successfully grapple Director Leondell. So her speed becomes 0, and yeah, go ahead.
I would like to use my second wind, which gives me another action. I would like to throw her into the core.
Okie dokie. All right, let's do another athletics, I think. Jesus Christ. And I'll give you... I'm not going to give you advantage on this. I am going to give her disadvantage on trying to get out because she is grappled.
Okay. It is a 21.
And against her... she came in at a 19. So up and over, you just hear a momentary like... get your filthy organic hands off me, you robot piece of shit, and then just face first into the core. I'm gonna roll to see if she can fucking survive this, but I have my doubts. She does have damage resistance of 2 ballistic and poison, so like maybe yeah, I think she doesn't immediately die because she is pretty hardy, but it's a full-on, like, the energy is tearing away at her flesh, kind of like burning her hair away. She's very much like almost like a skeletal form in this kind of wave of energy. She's lost half of her hit points, but she did save well enough to not get immediately insta-gibbed. We'll have to see if someone can get her out on the next round, but the odds are bad. But it's still your round, so...
Right. Just knowing what I know about mages and seeing that she is surviving the extremely hostile environment of the core of the generator for the satellite cannon, I'm going to assume like a defensive stance. I'm also going to use my second wind ability. It's a bonus action.
You have 2 second
D10.
winds?
Action surge.
I see.
For another action, and second wind uses a bonus action.
Perfect. Love it.
7 plus 10, 17 more HP. Just kind of getting ready for her probably very extreme retaliation to being thrown into a core.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. She's currently suspended in pure energy, just kind of gritting her teeth through it. God damn. Cool. That brings us to Drone Squad A, which is being has managed to get the door open, but is now being just bullied by little nanobots, which again is just kind of a more an annoyance than a damage thing, but will slow their progress this round. That said, since we are at the end of the round, we have additional drone squads incoming. One is, Declan, you get a ping that a squad has appeared in the currently unknown space to the far west, so basically connected to diagnostics. It's the mirror image of the custodial closet attached to maintenance. So they've drop shoot it in through there. But diagnostics is still full of fog, so there's that. And you would have people coming into custodian closet. Oh no, yes,
we still sealed that one shut. Yeah,
you sealed the exit shut, but not the hatchway.
Correct. Yeah, we couldn't do that.
So they fast line in through that. So basically, now you have squads C and D. Say C for custodian and D for diagnostics, but they've just arrived, so they will begin their moves next round.
Great. Seeing this happen while still on this turn, Declan's like, fucking shit. He's going to reach over and just snatch the SMG off Alyn's back and just say, don't let them fucking unplug that. And he would like to use a bonus action to dash towards the generator because he's realized we got to clear the mages of this fucking middle or we're going to get screwed on the sides.
Can you do that on Honor System's turn?
I don't know. It's a bonus action. So when can I do a bonus action?
On your turn.
Oh, it's only on my turn.
Yeah,
okay.
If it's a reaction, you can pull it on yours.
Well, then I didn't do it. There you go. He thought about it.
Yeah, you're doing this Sherlock Holmes thing. You've just like foreseen the discombobulate and such.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't. And that's the important thing. Great. Okay, so Declan's getting ready for action. We move to the top of the round. Director Leon Dell, can she survive pure energy for another round? She cannot. She swings forward.
Well, then it's a good thing she's not my mother.
Swings forward, and it's just like a classic like horror film, kind of like, you know, a hand comes out of the wave of energy, and then gets clipped off, and kind of falls into the orb of the generator room as her body is just evaporates into pure energy as she is shredded in the generator.
Honor System says nothing because she was no one of significance to him. She was a powerful mage, but not significant to him whatsoever.
Yep, fully understood. Just you know, closing those narrative loops. That's the end of her turn, as you can imagine, and her life. Alyn. The mask of your mother disintegrates, and you are left instead with Declan has yelled an order to you about the auto hack, and is clearly has like grabbed an SMG and is gearing up for action. What do you do?
Okay, this is interesting. I'm a little bit. My hands are tied with this fog cloud.
Yeah, so you got a bunch more assholes coming in. There are a bunch more mages about to enter through. Oh shit! Actually, I'm sorry. They move on the director's turn. So 3 more mages have entered the generator room.
Okay, an honor system. So honor system's like on the little platform near the core.
Yes.
And are there any mages between? Because I'm in control. Are there any mages between me and honor system?
So if honor system is where the director was because he had to stand there to Palpatine her into a generator, we've got honor system there. The portal has just delivered 3 mages. So yes, there's 1 mage. I think we're going to say, in terms of the mages who came through the portal, there is 1 mage directly north of the core, so just to honor systems right. There's 1 to honor systems left, that is basically at the eastmost point of the core, which is between you and him.
Okay.
And the 3rd mage who jumped through is in the northeast corner on the outside walkway, because this portal is basically just like they're hopping out on either side. It's not a one-way thing.
See.
Because now you're thinking in portals.
Okay. We've got Declan in control room still.
Yep, getting ready to book it.
So I'm just going to say to Declan, it's like, I can give you time. I can give you cover. Well, at least I can make you invisible for a bit. Would that help you?
Sure.
We're not going to have that fog anymore, but I can do this.
Sure, otherwise just fucking kill people. He's just saying like, there are so many pings on this fucking tablet. I don't want to hide. I want them to die.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is just touch Declan just on his back, cast greater invisibility. So for the next minute, he's going to be invisible and able to do what he needs to do.
Am I invisible while I attack?
Yeah, you're invisible.
Cool.
Whoa.
And anything you're wearing or carrying is invisible. As long as it's on you. Yeah, baby. That's greater invisibility.
The spell does end for a target that attacks or casts a spell. So you'll be invisible until you open fire.
Really?
It'll be a nice little freebie.
Unless greater invisibility changes.
Greater invisibility, there's nothing that says anything about attacking.
Right, but it just gives you the condition of invisibility, correct?
It'll still be a free sneak attack. So all good.
Immediate search of
there.
invisibility versus greater invisibility 5e yields greater invisibility will allow the invisible person to continue attacking and therefore allowing all attacks to be made at advantage. Invisibility will end as soon as the invisible person makes an attack or casts a spell. So it is good to hide and sneak around, but once you start entering combat, it's over.
Oh, that's so greater invisibility versus that's the greater part. Shit.
Cool.
Jesus Christ.
Dear 5e, maybe just make that clearer. Love, Tom.
It's
a condition, but also just a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it should say unlike general invisibility. It should be
just tough when you use the same word for everything, right? Like it's a condition, but it's also something you are. Like I much prefer this version. It's much cooler and I like it more, but yeah, weird. Okay, great.
So you be invisible for 10 rounds. Starting now.
System, get back here. She needs to touch you.
Wait, no. I can't do you both at once.
Okay, system, you're good.
Alyn, anything else you want to do on your round?
I will I think jeez. I think I'm gonna sorry, there's just so many options now. It's hard to decide what to use. I will move towards the generator room to help honor system, but
Alyn, I need you to watch the hacker, for God's sake. We can't both leave it, yells a disembodied invisible man.
Wait, what?
There's a hacking machine plugged into the controls. You can stay or I can stay. We both can't leave it.
Fine, okay, I'll stay.
Perfect.
I'll stay and I'll have my freaking magic missiles readied at those stupid fuckers in diagnostics who are now like, what? I can see.
Oh, must have been one of those afternoon fogs, those just roll through here every so often. They're tremendously inconvenient.
That moon fog.
Okay, great. Which brings us to Declan, who's now just, I guess, the Cheshire Cat. Declan, you're invisible, you got your SMG, you know honor system's in trouble. What do you do?
How far is the generator away from where he is at the controls?
It is 1 full move.
Great. He will make his full move invisibly. Then he will raise his SMG and he would like to use the SMG spray to tag the 3 mages who've just come out of that portal.
Okay.
So he empties the whole clip, so the weapon's useless after this. He's just got to ditch it. What it does is it hits them in a cone, so they each have to make a DC 17 reflex save to avoid the hail of bullets.
All right. So because one of them is on the far side, so of the 3, 2 are close, 1 is far. So the one who's far will be out of the cone.
Great. So then he'll just fire the rest through the portal.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we do that. So two mages in a portal, and I think we can safely say that honor system's able to get out of the way of this to dodge the friendly fire. Okay, so DC 17, you said?
Yeah, DC 17. I am invisible, so would they be at disadvantage?
Yes.
Dope.
I can't believe I've never used greater invisibility like this before. I mean, I know I only had it for a short time as Alyn before,
Sure.
but...
Well, I mean, admittedly, Strahd wasn't like a heavy combat
Yeah.
arc. Well, I mean, look, if there's one thing we know about mages, it's that they're tremendously dexterous. That's what they're best at, particularly when they're at a disadvantage. All three fail. So the 2 mages and the portal fail.
Great. So it is half your amount of dice that you would normally roll for damage. So it's normally 3d8, so 2d8 for 2d8. And then knowing that I'm invisible, and this is technically then a sneak attack, I'll roll 3 instead of 5 sneak attack dice.
Sure.
Great.
Face. Yes, this is a sneak attack.
At this point, I should just get like a hot button, like a weird, shitty morning show DJ. Like, yes, it's a yes, it's a sneak. Yes, you can have sneak attack.
That is 28 ballistic damage.
All right, so that pulps the 2 in the on the like nearest to honor system, and you just get like there's like a big scary like Skeletor looking motherfucker mage coming through with like a like a ram's head with curved horns on a staff. He's all muscle bound and shit. He just takes like 1 step through and just bullets shred his chest, causing him to kind of stumble back through the portal and fall back into the room that the MFTs are spilling through. But you have successfully suppressed the immediate mage entries.
Great. Of the surviving mages in the room, is there anybody I could get to within 30 feet?
Yeah, you could get to the 2, you could get to the 2 that honor system was originally going to fight at the north end of the room, or you can circle around the side of the core to the other one who's on this same walkway with you in honor system.
He'll go to the solo one, and because he's invisible, so I'll use my cunning action to dash and get next to this guy, and it's solely because he's invisible. So if this guy tries to cast a spell, he can shank him with an attack of opportunity, and the guy won't know he's there.
All right, fair enough. Great, love that for all involved. Okay, amazing. That brings us to Drone B. Now that diagnostics is no longer full of fog, they're going to start booking it across that platform, which, Alyn, does mean that your magic missile goes off.
Huzzah! It's 1 at each of them.
Yep.
I mean, it's not going to do much damage, but maybe it'll draw their attention. Oh, geez. That's 3, 4, 3, and 5. Oh, so cute.
Ooh, 3, 4, 3, 5. 3, 4, 3, 5. Okay. Yeah, so not a lot, but enough that they... the walkway shatters and suddenly, magic missiles are flying through the glass at them. So they've gone from just kind of like SWAT down the hall to kind of doing the Gears of War roadie run where they're kind of like ducked down running. They have absolutely no cover in here. So it's a bad situation for them. They'll take a little bit of damage, but are now up to the west platform. So within firing range of you and the auto hacker. For drone D for diagnostics, they will move into diagnostics, and I'm going to roll to see. Okay, so they're very perceptive. So they saw the spray of fire. They don't know where Declan is, but they know there's someone in there with a gun. So they're not going to move towards control. They're going to move towards, well...
That generator door is closed, I believe, because it's just open from control and maintenance where system was, I think.
Which
doors are open? I'm trying to remember. Which way did system go?
System went in through diagnostics.
Okay, so that's open then. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me roll though, because Yeah, they're actually going to ignore that because the greater concern is that the generator is almost at full charge. So it actually doesn't matter who's in there. What matters is who's controlling it. So they're in diagnostics. Next round, they'll be moving towards West platform. Guns up and kind of firing. Great. Honor system. You're in the generator room. You've had surprise assistance from Declan. Director Leon Dell is dead. There are currently close to you. There is the one mage that Declan just moved to, who's on the west side of the core platform. There are the two that you ran past, and there's one new one on the far side. Alternatively, there is the portal.
Who's keeping the portal open? Is that clear to me or no?
Yeah, the portal is currently being held open on this side by the mage that Declan is standing next to. You get the sense that the mages on the other side can probably keep the door open as well. They just can't open it as much. Like, it's not like if you kill all the mages in this room, this portal necessarily immediately goes away, but it's definitely harder for them to keep open without support.
Oh, also, system, you don't know I'm beside that mage. You can't see me.
That's true. Yeah, well, then I'd probably do that. I would probably go to the one guy who's clearly doing the portal spell, and I would try to kill him.
I mean, I don't know if you'll be able to smoke this one mage, but maybe. So, because technically you are flanking, you have advantage.
I don't know why I have advantage in,
you're running
in the
forward
context of it, but
Declan just leaves forward and says, "Not your lucky day." And the guy's just like, "Ah!" And that's when you attack. So
you just push him like an inch forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So my standard attack is 3 attacks. At advantage, I'm rolling 6 times. Okay, so 18. I'll take the 27 on this one. I'll take the 29 on this one.
Oh, you will? You'll take the 29?
And that one I rolled 5 twice, so I'll take the 15 on that one.
Okay, the 15 won't go through. The others do.
Okay. 8 plus 7 for 15 damage on the first hit.
Yep.
3 plus 7 for 10 more damage on the second hit.
Cool. How does he die?
He gets startled so badly with Declan whispering in his ear that the what would it be like the torque of turning his head as I sever it from his body causes his head to just kind of spin off. Yeah. A look of shock and confusion on his face as it spins around.
You know, it's like that Clerk's conversation about contractors on the Death Star. You don't want to get your head corkscrewed off. Don't go work for the evil space moon. So he goes down. The blood briefly sprays invisible Declan. So there's just like you can kind of see his
Hollow
face.
Man situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and then it becomes invisible and he goes, "Oh, it's in my fucking mouth."
Amazing. And Declan, we actually forgot to roll your hack check on your round.
Yeah,
so go ahead and roll that, please.
That is a 21.
Amazing. So with the
it's plus 11 and I keep rolling like 10, 11, 11, 10. And I'm like, this is fine. This is good.
With the hacking device pings, and the kind of like a lot of screens start going green around you, Alyn. And it would seem that the cannon is fully charged. So Declan has control and has the firing capability, which is good because after Honor System hacks this mage down, more drones begin to spill in through the office, the charging station, and begin to kind of fill the space. And kind of Honor System, you cut this guy down, Declan, you have it in your mouth, and then as you look up, you can see clearly through the portal that is kind of fluctuating now, that is trembling a bit. And beyond it, you can see a well-appointed room full of MFTs, full of executives, and above them all, sitting behind a massive desk, the glint of light off a dome you realize you're looking directly into the hive quarters, and Jacinda Bezos himself and the rest of the MFTs and executives of Amazon. This portal is faltering. The generator is powering up. Might be time to get the fuck out of Dodge. What do the three of you do?
Alyn, get the fucking hacking device. We're going through this fucking portal right now.
And Alyn freaking picks it up. Can she one-arm it?
Yeah, it's small. It's like
yeah.
Like,
okay, and
I've been imagining this is a weird pull. I've been imagining it as like a 3DX drive from Sega, where it's just like a weird thing you it's big and chunky, and you plug it in.
Yeah.
Like the cartridge in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So she just takes it, and then like with her other hand, for basically cover, is just throwing a fireball at the west platform.
Cool. Great. Yeah. So I think what we'll say is like sort of time slows as you begin your like, hero run.
Yeah.
So you throw a fireball. What other spells do you throw on your way out as your godly powers begin to abandon you?
Throwing a blight on all the living things. It's just like basically like it's a wash of fire and necromantic energy just like spilling out towards all the drones to the left.
Amazing.
And, yeah.
Cool. So, as you're running, just, a whole platform explodes and falls down into the atrium below. You've got guards just like clawing at their helmets as necromantic blight energy runs through them. They're sort of robot compatriots confused, trying to like help them up, firing at you. The bullets bounce off shields because you definitely cast mage armor today. Just like you are, for a brief moment, you are ascendant, and you see kind of the power that your entire spellbook operating simultaneously could bring you. And then together you kind of like sweep into the generator room as Honor System and the now visible Declan meet you, and using the last of your god power, Alyn, you stretch the portal momentarily for the three of you to leap through before it snaps shut behind you, leaving death, destruction, and necromantic blights in your wake.
This episode of Dum Dums and Dragons 2099 features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra. The system we're playing is Carbon 2185, and Dum Dums and Dragons artwork is by Dell Borovic, who can be found at dellborovic.com. Our theme songs are Core Collapse and Sanctuary of the Sky Gods by Nathaniel Yaverne, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Now I'm off to do future things before we return for the next episode of Dum Dums and Dragons 2099. Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. The Half-Blind Prophet, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Sammy Boy, Orion Birchfield, Scott Garland, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Acrix, Grandma Likes D&D, Alyn, Austin Nut Powers Fry, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Roman Brown, Shulzari, Christian Mendez, Spot Allen, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, OMG It's Big Nick, Steve Wheeze, D&D and Things, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.